Okay, just bear with me because it's like going on 12 o'clock midnight as I'm filming this. But so the older man was basically training me. He started training me in a way, and he um tried to get me like comfortable with having me do the things that he wanted me to do, and ultimately I felt like a what slave. And as time went on, I will say people were suspecting something, but they could never prove it. And I didn't have to, but as a teenager, I just kept lying to my family. And the older man didn't care. So when he would finish with me, I'm just like, well, what am I going to tell him? He says, I don't care. Just don't tell them you were with me. It was like he got everything off of him, dumped everything on me, and I had to deal with the backlash. And he was training me at that age to be quiet, to keep quiet, to um to function in deception, to hide. And like, I'm 30 years old now, and that um it was officially cut off when I was 29. Officially cut off when I was 29. And at that age, like, he was just training me to be quiet, to be deceptive, to dwell in secrecy, to live in fear, like all of this stuff. And I carried that for years, and I thought that was normal. So when I turned 18, that's when I said I want to actually experience dating someone my own age. I tried to, in high school, I tried to date people my age, but the older man, he had so much control over me to where I couldn't even really text guys. And if he found another guy's number what I was 16 at the time, when I tried to start dating, and he would check my phone, and he's like, oh, you can't talk to no guys. And there was one time where um, this guy, he had texted me, hey, and the older man, he saw that, and he got so upset. And out of fear, I took my phone because I'm like, I don't even want him to see this. And he told me if I didn't unlock my phone and just let him see my phone, he would break it. And I thought he was going to do something to me. And he ended up like busting my lip. And all this blood just started leaking out, and I started crying. And that's when he got his stuff and he was leaving. And me as a little girl, like, after everything, I was begging him not to leave. I'm like, busted up and all, I'm begging this guy not to leave. Like, I really did not love myself. I didn't see the value in myself. Looking, I was looking for a validation in him. Like, I made this older man, I made him an idol. And I'm asking him, like, no, no, and all this stuff. Like, I'm asking him, like, or telling him rather, no, don't leave. I want you, and stuff like that. But by that time, he had already um had my mind in this. Like, he was already controlling my mind at that time. So after all that, I said, I'm just not going to try to date anyone. I would just be with this guy, continue to be with this guy in secret. And when I did try to date other people my age, I had to sneak and do it, just like I was already sneaking in this relationship. Like, this was just this secrecy and all that. Like, I'm staying on this for a little bit because I was carrying this stuff for years, and that became my normal. So fast forward, when I turned 18, I told the older man, I said, I want to date people my age. I don't want to live in secret anymore. I want to basically have a normal life. And he ended up just telling his wife about us. He didn't tell her that he started, you know, getting with me at age 15. He just told her he wanted to be with me. And I'm like, this is not going to work anyway. Like, this this is deception. This is not going to work. And he basically tried to keep me keep me bound with him. So basically, every time I tried to date, because I tried to date other people, and I could not get myself free or break myself away from this guy, because I would date the other guy for a little bit, but then it wouldn't work out. Like, it'll last maybe a month or two, and then the older man would just wheel me back to him. It was a demonic stronghold. It was a soul tie. And um, around age, I'll say in my early 20s, that's when, they ended up eventually getting a divorce. And I was still trying to break away, but I kept trying to get into these other relationships, trying to escape what I knew with this older man. But me running to those other relationships didn't heal anything either, because I was still broken on the inside. And so fast forward, I came to know Christ um, over 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, and that's when I really started to um, see things and notice things. And I wanted to spend so much time with the Lord that it was driving the older man nuts. For one, it was driving him nuts, and he would try to discourage me from my walk, because he would basically, I didn't know how to really hear from God. I thought that you had to be a special someone for in order for God to talk to you. And he was picking on me because he said, "Oh, I never heard of a Christian that can't hear from God." And he would just laugh at me and just make me feel just insecure. And that's when the Lord had gave me a dream, and gave me a dream about how he believed that he heard from God because it sounded like his own thoughts, when he really wasn't hearing from God. He was hearing from the enemy. And that's when the closer I got to the Lord, the more the older man tried to confuse me, and eventually got to the point where I said, like, I have to stop. I cannot continue on in this relationship. It has to end. And I kept trying to break away, and the older man